How do you keep the momentum going after you get your first freelance client? Hey there, Get Your Nurture here. You're welcome to my channel. If you're one of my regular bosses, I want to say thank you so much for joining me regularly. I really appreciate it, and I say that from the bottom of my heart. If you're one of my new bosses, on this channel I give freelance business advice that allows you to create more freedom and more family time. If that sounds like your cup of tea, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Alright, so today I wanted to talk about how to keep building momentum after you get your first freelance client. So when you're starting out in freelance business, getting your first client is always the hardest. I'll tell you that. But once you get your first freelance client, it's easier to get the second and the third and the fourth, right? But then sometimes people are not sure, okay, now I have my first freelance client, what should I do? I just finished a project for them. What should I do? What can I do to keep the momentum going? Great question. So first things first, ask your clients, the very first one, if they have any more work for you. Especially if you did something like written work or social media work, even if you did web design work, ask them, do you have anything else I could do for you? Or do you know anybody else that would need my services? And that's actually point number two. So point number one really is asking them if they have any extra work for you, or if they ask you, hey, I have this other thing and I was just wondering if you knew somebody that could do it. If it's something that you can do, add it on. I heard this saying by Richard Branson that was like, when somebody asks you to do something, say yes first and then go find out how to do it later. I mean, if you absolutely don't know how to do it, I don't recommend that particular way of doing things. But if it's like you did a web design and then they're asking you to do their social media, that's something that can be easily learned and done, unless you absolutely hate social media and don't want to do that. But that could be something that you could be doing for your client. And with social media management, you could be charging them a monthly fee, and so you're getting income that way. Number two is to ask for a referral. Once you're done with the first project, if it's just the end of the project, there's no extra work, one of the things you can do to keep momentum going is to ask that first client, can you give me a referral? Know anybody that needs my services? Here's my business card. Please keep me in mind if you found this work useful. You can also collect testimonials from that first client that allows you to put this on your website or put this anywhere that gives you proof, right? Because you always need proof that you can do what you say you can do, and testimonials are super powerful. So you can either ask for a referral or a testimonial as a way of furthering your business. Last but not least, number three is to keep marketing yourself. As a freelancer, you need to put yourself out there constantly. It will get to a time where you don't have to pitch as much because you will be well known in the community, that when somebody needs your services, people will just be like, oh yeah, I know this great girl, or I know this great guy, and they will send people to you. But until then, please keep marketing yourself, and I highly recommend that you set up a LinkedIn profile that highlights your skills. Now I know some of you are still 9-to-5s and you may not necessarily want people at work or your boss to know, but if this is not a problem, if people already know that you're side hustling, I don't think it is such a big deal for you to add the fact that you're a freelancer to your LinkedIn profile. Sometimes people are afraid that they're going to get fired because of that. Like if you're not breaking any rules at your workplace or whatever, you could probably talk to your boss about it and say, hey, I've been doing this side hustle thing, it's been making me and my family some extra income, and I was just wondering if it would be okay if I put it on my LinkedIn profile. Or if you do see it on my LinkedIn profile, don't get freaked out that I'm leaving the company, it's just a side hustle for now. And you can discuss it that way, and put that on there so that people, because let me tell you something, I have sometimes, if you use LinkedIn, you will find that sometimes they send you reports, you showed up in this many searches this week, and when I go back and look at that, people were searching for things that I have put in my profile, and I show up and search for those things they're looking for. And so let's say they're looking for a freelance writer in a particular niche, they look for such a person on LinkedIn, and you show up, and then they contact you, and that's how you can get a client. So LinkedIn is one easy place for you to just set up shop and advertise your skills and let people know that you're open for business. Also, don't stop pitching. You know, you pitch to get your first client. Always be pitching, you know, at least once a day. Get in touch with somebody, or at least once a week. Get in touch with somebody and say, hey, I'm so and so, and I'm, you know, I do this, and I just wondering if you have any work that you need help with. The worst they can say is no. The best case scenario is a yes and money in your bank account. So don't be afraid to pitch yourself at least like once a day, or even more than that. There are people that pitch way more than that. But you know, if you're still doing this and still building this up slowly, at least once a day is a good place to start. And you know, 7 pitches a week, and in a month, that's what, 28 to 30 pitches. You're going to get somebody to say yes. All right, so at least 1 pitch a day, so that you can keep that pool of clients fresh and people biting all the time. Alright guys, so that is how you can keep momentum going. These are just 3 ways you can keep momentum going after you get your first freelance client. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Please leave comments below. Maybe you're a freelancer and you have been keeping momentum another way that I didn't share in this video. Of course, I did not cover everything. I just said 3 things. Go ahead and leave that in the comment below so that we can all learn from you as well. Thank you so much for joining me. God bless.